Hello, I'm EBX and welcome back to the video. Today I have some pretty good news to share with you all if you watched my Portal Knights video last year. So this was one of my favourite games of 2016, I had a lot of fun playing it, a lot of you enjoyed watching it, and today I have some very good news because it's coming to the Xbox One and PS4 very shortly. But even better than the fact that it's coming to the platform soon is the fact that you'll be able to download it for free right now by clicking one of the links in the description, and you can play a trial version like I'm going to be doing in today's video. So if you want to do that, make sure you do check the description because that's where the links are found. And let me just also mention that this video was sponsored by 505 Games. They provided monetary compensation in exchange for me getting the word out about the game because, again, Portal Knights was a really fun game that you kind of have to see to understand exactly what's going on with it, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in today's videos. Hopefully you do all enjoy it. You can like the video if you do because it helps out the channel a lot, and let's know you do like the Portal Knights. But yeah, so we're going to make our character right now. The cool thing, we're going to be a warrior too, by the way, because I feel like increased health points and damage is a good thing, and I think we played as an archer last time, so, you know, let's mix things up. Let's have a big sword, let's hit hit things with it, and let's do some damage. And yeah, the cool thing about this game that you might not have seen before is it has a lot of customization, you know, the usual kind of like pick any hairstyle you want, match it with a beard. Do you want to be a woman with, you know, like a giant beard? Guess what? That is an option you have in this game. Or, you know, let's just go with like a simple plumber mustache. Yep, that's, this seems like a character I want to be today. And then we'll, you know, we'll mix that yellow hair with yellow skin, because, you know, skin and hair should match. That's a commonly known thing, right? And you know, let's even make our eyes match that. You know, the great thing about me to any game is like, how much can you mess up your character if you really try? That's a sign as to like how much control you really have. Like, if it lets you literally do this if you want to, that is a good sign to me. So yeah, we're going to be our yellow everything character. We're going to go, we're going to, I guess, actually, we could also pick our voice, by the way. There's like 4 voices to choose from, but for now, it doesn't matter too much about her voice. Instead, we'll just, you know, go straight to the next, and we'll name her. So I'm going to name her, her, actually. That's a good name, you know? Use a nice pronoun as a name. Mix people up, like, oh yeah, what's her name? Oh, what's her name? Oh yeah, and you know, get some nice confusing conversation like that. And yeah, let's do this. So she's a level 1 warrior who's been played for 0 seconds, and we're also going to make a world for her. Oh, cool thing about this game that you might not have known is there's like a separation between your characters and your worlds, so you can play different characters in different worlds. You can make a new world for your character to go through if you don't like your current universe, because the universe, again, if you don't know why this game is called Portal Knights, it's because there's lots of portals between worlds. Universe 1, that's a good name, right? But yeah, there's lots of portals between worlds that you're kind of building. That's kind of the big RPG area of the game. You know, let's skip the you know, cutscene stuff for now, and let's just go straight into it. So yeah, there's lots of portals that take you from world to world, and these are a really big part of the game because you've got to build the portal stones to kind of connect up each thing. So also a tiny thing I love about this game, and it's you know, it's a small thing, but I really love the loading screens. Like, not only is that bar that's filling slowly at the bottom kind of fascinating to watch, but it looks really Doctor Who-esque right now, right? I think so anyway. But yeah, like I was saying, so Portal Knights, very fun game. I played it last year, and it has this really interesting RPG mechanic that just makes you want to keep on playing and playing and playing, because the game is like not pseudo random, sorry, it's like half random. It's randomly generated within certain bounds, so there are certain stuff that will always generate. For instance, my first world here is always going to have a mine, a castle, and a house, I believe, if those 3 things, but they're going to be generating in different places, in different, you know, particular ways, of different loot and stuff, and it makes for a game where you're always roughly sure what you're doing. You're never in a place where, you know, your world just, you know, goes awful, so you're entirely like lost as to what to do, but the best thing is that, you know, because it's always random, there's always a bit of a surprise, but you always know what you're doing, and it's a really good mix of those 2 things, in my opinion. It's like, again, we'll get in the game and we'll show you, and things will be different, and it'll be good. So what do I like about the console version of this game in particular, besides, you know, Doctor Who stuff? Honestly, the big difference from going from the PC to the console is I think the controller is a better controller input, in my opinion, but also I think on the console, because you generally have a bigger distance between you and the monitor, the game works much better in first person, or maybe that's the controller thing, but like, this game just looks visually way more, there's just something that's just intriguing, and it's eye-grabbing when you're in first person, and when you look around, you're like, this whole world, I can explore it all if I want to. It's just, I know, it's a wonderful thing that I'm going to enjoy doing, and in fact, I will be doing in today's video. So, yeah, this is our portal. The game is called Portal Knights. Fun fact, you probably worked that out already, and that's because the big mechanic that takes you from world to world is these portals. So once we, you know, get 4 more blocks, it looks like, we can go to the next island and do more things. But for now, we've got our almost tutorial-ish island. You know, it's not quite tutorial, like, because again, there's real stuff you can do here to get real loot. But for now, we're just gonna go slay a parrot because I don't know, killing parrots seems like a good idea, right? Good use of my time, maybe. Assuming I can actually do this correctly. Apparently not. Maybe I'm just I need to like jump a little bit to do that. So let's jump up. Ah, that's what it is. You gotta you gotta make sure you're actually at the same level as it. Because again, I'm so used to using the ranged weapons or the staff that, you know, I guess I'm not so used to that. So, yeah, when you first spawn in, you get 20 blocks of dirt and you get your sword. That's it. Everything else you have to kind of work out as you go. So, for instance, first of all, these portal shards, these are the most important thing you can get because they're used to obviously make the portal better. But you can also find stuff, like we'll presumably find this dungeon, like gold. Again, useful for other things. You can find ores if you're mining through the ground. There's lots of, you know, small things you can find if you do what you want to do. So, yeah, this is the first thing we'll be doing. It's a dungeon. There is not really a boss, but like a mini-boss thing almost, protecting the other side of it. And being a melee character in this, in first person in particular, is particularly challenging for a boss like this, but because it is just a skeleton that telegraphs his attacks pretty well, it's easy enough just to work around it, get the stuff done, and boom, that's the skeleton defeated. Again, we got some XP for that, which is good. I did mention this game has RPG mechanics, and honestly, they are seriously addicting in like a good way. Like you know, a lot of games like it's just like, oh yeah, you sometimes get levels and that's that. But in this game, it really is like, oh yeah, but you want to get the loot and you want to upgrade your crafting table and get some more XP. And again, it keeps you intrigued, it keeps you interested, and I think that's why the game succeeded well enough to, you know, again make it to the console eventually, like it's done, you know, in today's little case. So before we leave this dungeon, I am going to break all of the urns, as we all learn from everyone's favorite, you know, urn-based breaking game. There's always, you know, fun goodies to be found in these, so let's make sure we break all of them, all around the place. Just to, again, you don't want to leave anything on the table, and that includes sharpening stones. That includes the free gold, that includes the potential for portal shards, just anything we can find here, I'll take all of it. So yeah, we got some free gold, pretty good stuff, and we'll now actually head out here and get some quests done. Because you might notice in the top left, there's been quests that have been filling the whole time. There is always quests to do in this game, but for the most part, it is just like when you first start the game, it gives you, instead of giving you a tutorial that you have to do, which I always hate in games, this game just gives you the thing of like, hey, you can do these things if you want to, and you'll get rewarded with XP. So if we open our backpack and we find our minor healing potion, and we move it over here, then instead of the game being like, you have to do that to move on, instead it says, guess what, you know, have some XP, you know, get that quest done, move on to the next one. It just feels kind of good when it does it that way instead, in my opinion. It's just a small little detail about the game. So, yeah, let's slay some form of mob. I don't know what this giant portal is doing here, but yeah, let's slay one more animal, because our third quest is to slay one more enemy, and we'll use that to get our stuff done, I guess. Actually, oh, rather than going to the mine first, we'll go to the house, because with the house, we can make the stone pickaxe we need for the stone mine. Oh, here's an easy enemy. It's literally a slime. Should be easy enough. Should even drop something cool you can use for potions, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, let's, although I'm actually taking a lot of damage from this slime, because they do some damage sometimes. But yeah, there's another quest complete. Look at the XP we got, and it just, again, it's a tutorial that makes you feel good when you do it, and you can really ignore if you want to. Like, that, I wouldn't recommend ignoring it, but you can, and that's always something I value in anything. So yeah, also we'll get to the crates right here, because they give us a bunch of refined wood, which we can use both to, you know, repair the workbench, which I do want to do, because, again, the workbench is like a serious part of, like, how you can craft new things, such as better armor, but it's also a serious part of, like, lots of other, you know, minor things that you might not have a spot. So, 44 refined wood blocks, sounds good to me. We'll get some wood logs, too, from the trees, because, again, if I didn't mention, I did mention, but, like, these, you know, things you find, they're always randomly generated slightly differently, so in this case, we get some, what is that, like some cotton crops, as well as some cotton seeds, because we can break the plants down. But this one was also a really overgrown garden with trees going through it, because that's how random generation works. It's interesting, it keeps you going, and it's kind of cool if you ask me. So while our workbench upgrades, I'm going to also repair this building. You might question why I started with so much dirt, and we haven't done any building yet. There is actually a serious building part of this game. If you like building games, you know, like that other big one, you know, the big Minecraft one, then, you know, this game actually does have a serious element to that. Because if you want to, let's go over to our refined wood, you can just, you know, build yourself a house, or, in, again, what is a slightly more interesting style to me at least, is you can repair existing stuff and make it more homely and whatnot, and that's kind of a cool little change if you ask me. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just fill all of this in. I think we went a little bit into the roof, but that's fine too. And there we go. Looks just perfectly for me. Looks just perfect to me. Everything is wonderful. So yeah, now we've done that, we can move on to the next quest, or we can make our own house. You know, if you want to make your own shelter, guess what? You can totally do that. I'm not going to recommend it, but because the crafting table is craftable, you can do it that way as well. Which again, just a nice little thing you can do in the game. But more importantly for me is to make a squire waistcoat. Again, like I said, one of the things you can do with all the stuff you get is you can make armor, and the armor gets better as you upgrade your thing, which again, I need copper right now, so we'll get that done at some point, but for now, let's just say, yeah, if we get some copper and some wood, we can get even more crafting recipes. But for now, we can make, blue portal stones, which is nice. And we can also make ourselves some armor, found just over here. So bear in mind, like a lot of games, this game does the system where every class has its own set of armor. So if you're a mage, you get mage armor. If you're a ranger, you get ranger armor. And if you are a warrior, like myself, you get squire armor. So that's a nice little thing. And let's quickly just make ourselves some cloth, because that's apparently needed for the armor. And then we'll make ourselves the waistcoat. I don't know why we're making the waistcoat first. I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's the chest or whatever. But it's still just a little bit bizarre. But yeah, make the waistcoat. And then we can even put it on by just going pressing Y. Because again, the inventory, so when on the PC, this game, the inventory was managed a little bit confusingly. I actually quite like the way this works in concept. I feel like it was almost built for that, which is just a good little change if you ask me. And then we'll take our, I don't think we've actually taken it from here yet. Yeah, we'll send it to the backpack, and then we'll go across just over here, and we'll put it on our torso, get that extra armor so that things can wreck us a little bit less, and boom, we got another quest done, which gives us even more XP, which is wonderful. So then now we'll also take our, we have to go back to the mine, take some stone, mine a stone, make a stone pickaxe from it, and then we can use that to get presumably another chest. In fact, I'm pretty sure just behind this wall right here, we'll find another chest, because again, these things are like semi-random, like they're random within certain bounds. And we'll take this stuff. We'll break the chest for now, actually, just to get some free portal shards, and then we'll come back to the place, build a stone pickaxe, because again, if we want to get ores, which we definitely do, to make the better crafting table, make the better workbench and stuff, then we can do it that way. And again, you might be looking at all this stuff and say, oh, there's a lot of progression here. And honestly, like I said, the progression is like one of the key parts of this game, but there's also a lot of combat, there's a lot of exploration, and I love how all of that works. I'm hoping I get to show you, in fact, some of that as we go along too. So I'm just one portal block short now of making the full, portal go ahead. Actually, wait, am I even one block short? I might not, yeah, I'm one block short now, so I just have to find one more portal shard, and we can go to the next island. And again, these islands get like, oh, I need 4 stone pickaxes, 4 for a stone pickaxe. That is something I would not have figured. So I guess we'll go back, we'll find some stone, and we'll do it that way. Or I'll just mine some stone for the ground. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Can I get these back? I can, okay, it's good. I was scared they'd be like, once you broke it once, it's kind of broken forever. Fortunately, it does not work that way. But yeah, let's just break some stone randomly in the ground. Oh, we got a portal shard just randomly from the ground. That's a rare drop if I'm not mistaken, and that feels pretty good. Oh, well, I guess we don't need it anymore. But we'll craft the stone pickaxe anyway, just because the game will be happy with me if I do that. Then we'll craft the blue portal stone, make that happen as well. And now we can go to a different island. So yeah, like I said, this first island, it's kind of a tutorial island, it's got that kind of vibe to it where like, everything here is just to kind of teach you the ropes. But after this, everything gets progressively harder. The enemies you fight get harder. So if you go too far ahead without being leveled up and stuff, you will get wrecked, which is, I always love that challenge in a game where it's like, you can make the game as difficult as you want for yourself. It's just you'll probably die if you make it too difficult, which, again, always a more interesting kind of option there. But yeah, going through the portal right now to the next island, which we can do if we buy the full game. So that's kind of the full kind of experience you get from here. But before you go, before we go to the next island, which is a thing we could do in the full game, instead what we're going to end up doing is we're just going to do everything else we can do with this first island. Because, like I said before, the game isn't just about it's not just about like, oh yeah, you can go and fight other stuff. There's things you can do with your existing islands where you can fully explore it and find stuff you might not have figured. So for instance, if we put out our pickaxe from earlier, so let's go to the stone pickaxe. If we take our pickaxe, put it in our inventory, now we can go mining and we can find crazy rare stuff under the island. Because bear in mind, we've only used the set pieces that are spawned here. There's a bunch of stuff found, not only below the island, but above it and stuff, which you can totally go to if you want to. Also, there's rare ore found. So in this case, I think, I don't really see too much. Maybe that's copper? No, there's no copper there. But you can find copper like in little veins just all around the island. In fact, we could go find some of that right now. Upgrade your crafting table. And this is like the taste of the game, really. This is like your first experience. And it sells you on the controls, sells you on the mechanics. And I think, at least to me, because I've played the full game, it makes me really interested to play it when the game, the full game does drop in just a month or so. So yeah, that's a rough explanation of Portal Knights right here. Oh, we can fast travel. That's a quest, in fact. Again, just within our one island, bear in mind, because again, this is meant to be a trial to kind of lure you. The cool thing about like this, the fact that this whole video, this sponsored thing, is the fact that like the 505 games, people who made this game, they're so certain that the game is enjoyable, and I am too. That like they're willing to like just convince people to try it because they're so sure that like yeah, you'll have a lot of fun playing this, and you'll like the finished thing, and that's that's a cool kind of end result of this whole thing. So, just in case you were curious about the trial, that's kind of the deal with it. Another interesting thing about it that I think is a really good way to, you know, take the trial into the full game is the fact that if you do play this and you like it and you've got your character and you decide to get the game later, your character will transfer over from this world, you know, all the things you built with him and all the things you've done in this world in general will transfer to the final game. It's a really interesting part of the Xbox One trial system and the PS4 trial system, I guess, that allows you to do that. And I think it's, again, it's a really great face functionality that, like, rewards you for playing the demo, even if you then get the game, which, you know, didn't used to be the thing back in the day. And I just think that's a tiny cool thing about the way this demo is done. Another thing I really liked about the fact that this game is playing on console, that you kind of see as we look around very closely at stuff, is the game runs very, very well on the Xbox One and PS4. You know, oftentimes when there's a PC port to the console, it's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna make it, you know, slightly worse in some ways. I've seen so many, like, bad PC ports recently, but this game looks amazing. In fact, you know, a part of me feels like it looks better, right? And that's a really positive outcome of I think that's a really positive outcome of porting to the console, and I look forward to making more videos on this in future, hopefully. Let me know what you think if you do want to see more of those, again, in the comments down below, because, yeah, this game is one of the bigger games coming out in the next month or so, and I'm curious if we should do more stuff like this. But your comments, you can let me know what you think of the game in general, and indeed of me making more videos. You can also like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let us know you do like these sorts of videos, share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. I'm going to dig a hole in the wall, and then I guess we're going to call this a day for now, and maybe even decide to fall off the map, because, you know, you can actually do that if you want to. Really wouldn't recommend it, but that's what we're about to do now, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.